What's something people don't know about history? History is filled with pivotal moments, grand narratives that have shaped the course of civilizations. History holds events of great significance that have slipped through the cracks of time, their importance underestimated or simply forgotten. Let's find out the most important events that had a significant impact on history but have been forgotten. The Aegean Sea, a body of water steeped in myth and history, bore witness to a tragedy in the autumn of 1922. The bustling port city of Smyrna, a cosmopolitan jewel of the Ottoman Empire, was engulfed in flames. For centuries, Smyrna had been a vibrant tapestry of cultures, Greek, Armenian, Turkish, Jewish, a testament to the possibility of peaceful coexistence. But in the aftermath of World War I, as empires crumbled and national identities clashed, Smyrna became a focal point of conflict. The Great Fire, as it came to be known, raged for 9 days, reducing much of the city to ashes and smoke. The exact circumstances that ignited the inferno remain shrouded in the fog of war, a tragic blend of accident and intent. What is undeniable is the human cost. Hundreds of thousands were displaced, forced to flee their homes as the flames consumed their livelihoods, their history, their very sense of place. The destruction of Smyrna sent shockwaves across the globe, becoming a symbol of the brutal human cost of conflict and displacement. It marked the end of an era, the final chapter in the long decline of the Ottoman Empire, and served as a catalyst for a massive population exchange between Greece and Turkey, redrawing the demographic map of the region. The heartland of China, a land of ancient dynasties and enduring traditions, was shaken to its core in the mid-19th century by an upheaval of unimaginable scale, the Taiping Rebellion. This wasn't merely a rebellion, it was a cataclysmic clash of ideologies, a civil war that pitted a self-proclaimed mystic, Hong Xiuquan, against the established Qing dynasty. Hong, convinced he was the younger brother of Jesus Christ, sought to establish a heavenly kingdom of great peace, the Taiping Tianguo. His vision promised social reform, land redistribution, and an end to oppression. Millions rallied to his cause, fueling a rebellion that swept across the country, engulfing vast swaths of land and challenging the very foundations of imperial rule. For 14 long years, China was ravaged by a conflict of unimaginable brutality. Battles raged across the countryside, leaving countless villages in ruins. Cities were besieged, their populations decimated by famine and disease. The Taipings, despite their utopian ideals, were often as ruthless as their enemies, their quest for a heavenly kingdom leaving a trail of earthly suffering in its wake. When the rebellion was finally crushed in 1864, China lay wounded and exhausted. The Qing dynasty, though victorious, had been fatally weakened, its authority irrevocably shattered. The Taiping Rebellion, despite its ultimate failure, had exposed the deep-seated social and economic problems plaguing China, planting the seeds for future revolutions and shaping the destiny of the nation for decades to come. Chapter 3. Scars of Partition, a Nation Divided. The Indian subcontinent, a land of vibrant colors, rich history, and diverse cultures, experienced a tumultuous birth as an independent nation in 1947. The end of British colonial rule, long fought for and hard won, was marred by a tragedy of immense proportions, the partition of India. What was intended as a swift and orderly division along religious lines, creating the independent nations of India and Pakistan, descended into chaos and violence. Millions found themselves on the wrong side of the newly drawn borders, their homes, their lives, suddenly cast adrift in a sea of uncertainty and fear. Mass migrations of unprecedented scale ensued. Hindus, Muslims, and Sikhs, once neighbors and friends, were driven from their homes, fueled by fear and suspicion, their journeys fraught with danger. The roads became rivers of humanity, stretching for miles, filled with the exhausted and the displaced, haunted by the specter of violence. The partition witnessed horrors that are difficult to comprehend. Massacres, riots, and acts of unspeakable cruelty erupted across the land, leaving an indelible stain on the soul of the subcontinent. The exact number of those who perished in the violence will never be known, but estimates range from hundreds of thousands to over 1 million souls lost. The legacy of partition continues to cast a long shadow over India, Pakistan, and Bangladesh. The two nations, born from a shared history, remain locked in a cycle of mistrust and animosity, the wounds of the past slow to heal. The events of 1947 serve as a stark reminder of the human cost of division, a cautionary tale etched in the collective memory of the subcontinent. Chapter 4. ADWA, The Lion's Roar Against the Colonizer's Grip. In the heart of the African continent, nestled amidst the rugged highlands of Ethiopia, a battle took place in 1896 that would reverberate far beyond its time and place. This was the Battle of Adwa, a resounding victory for the Ethiopian forces against the invading Italian army, a triumph that shattered the myth of European invincibility and altered the course of African colonial history. Italy, eager to carve out its own slice of the African continent, had set its sights on Ethiopia, the ancient kingdom that had stood as a beacon of independence, never fully succumbing to the clutches of colonialism. Believing their superior weaponry and tactics would ensure a swift victory, the Italians marched into Ethiopia, confident of their impending triumph. But Emperor Menelik II of Ethiopia had anticipated the Italian aggression. He had modernized his army, rallying his people to defend their homeland. When the two armies clashed on the dusty plains of Adwa, the Ethiopians fought with unmatched ferocity and tactical brilliance, their knowledge of the terrain proving to be a crucial advantage. The Italian defeat was swift and decisive. Their dreams of conquest lay shattered, their armies routed, their prestige severely damaged. News of the Ethiopian victory spread like wildfire across Africa and beyond, igniting a spark of hope and resistance against the encroaching tide of colonialism. Adwa became a symbol of African resistance, a testament to the power of unity and determination in the face of overwhelming odds. It demonstrated that European dominance was not inevitable, that African nations could and would fight back against the forces seeking to subjugate them. The victory at Adwa helped preserve Ethiopia's independence, making it a beacon of hope for other African nations struggling against colonial rule. Chapter 5: Tulsa's Buried Truth, When Prosperity Burned. In the heartland of America, nestled within the burgeoning city of Tulsa, Oklahoma, lay Greenwood, a thriving African-American community known as Black Wall Street. Here, in the face of Jim Crow segregation and widespread racism, Black entrepreneurs, professionals, and families built a haven of prosperity and pride. But on May 31st, 1921, this beacon of hope was brutally extinguished in a storm of racial violence that would scar the city's soul for generations to come. A series of events, beginning with a disputed encounter between a young black man and a white woman, ignited tensions that had long simmered beneath the surface of Tulsa's segregated society. Fueled by rumors and racial animosity, a white mob descended upon Greenwood, their fury unchecked. What followed was a horrific rampage of violence and destruction. Homes and businesses were looted and burned, the vibrant heart of Greenwood reduced to ashes and rubble. Black residents defending their community were met with overwhelming force. The local law enforcement, instead of protecting the victims, often aided the mob, deputizing white citizens and even firing upon black residents from airplanes. For 2 days, the violence raged, leaving an estimated 300 people dead, thousands more injured and homeless. The once thriving Greenwood lay in ruins, a testament to the brutal reality of racial hatred in America. In the aftermath of the massacre, there was a concerted effort to erase the event from public memory. Official records were destroyed or altered, news coverage was suppressed, and the story of Tulsa's Black Wall Street and its destruction faded into the shadows. It would take decades for the survivors and their descendants to reclaim their history, to demand recognition and justice for the horrors inflicted upon their community. Outro: Remembering to Forge a Better Path. These events, though often overlooked, have had profound impacts on the world we live in today. The ashes of Smyrna remind us of the human cost of conflict and displacement, while the Taiping Rebellion's echoes caution against the dangers of unchecked ambition and societal unrest. The scars of partition serve as a stark warning about the fragility of peace and the enduring legacy of division. Yet amidst the darkness, there are glimmers of hope. Adwa's triumph stands as a testament to the power of resistance against oppression, while the story of Tulsa's Greenwood, though tragic, fuels the ongoing fight for racial justice and equality. Remembering these forgotten events is not merely an act of historical preservation, but a vital step towards understanding the complexities of our present. By acknowledging the shadows of the past, we can better illuminate the path towards a more just and compassionate future. These stories, though often difficult to confront, hold valuable lessons about the human condition, reminding us of the importance of empathy, understanding, and the constant pursuit of a more inclusive and equitable world. Let us not allow these echoes of the past to fade into oblivion. Instead, let them serve as a guiding light, illuminating the path towards a future where the mistakes of history are not repeated and where the voices of the marginalized are heard and acknowledged.